Am I the a-hole for hating my mom for birthing me in poverty and expecting me to fix her life? I don't know how to say this without sounding like the worst daughter alive, but I can't keep it inside anymore. I've spent my whole life carrying this bitterness around, and no matter how much I try to let go, it sticks to me like tar. So here I am, hoping that screaming it into this void will finally make me feel lighter. The thing is, I hate my mom. Not in the teenager slamming doors way. Not in the we had a big fight and I'll get over it way. I mean a deep, choking resentment that has followed me from childhood into adulthood. And the worst part, she doesn't even know. My mom had me when she was 20. She wasn't ready. Not financially. Not emotionally. Not in any way that mattered. She was just a scared girl who thought a baby would magically fix her life. I know this because she told me, over and over. "You saved me," she'd say, lighting her third cigarette of the night in our cramped living room. "Before you, I didn't have a reason to live." She said it like a compliment, like I should feel honored. But even as a kid, I felt this heavy dread in my stomach because I knew. She didn't mean I saved her out of love. She meant I was supposed to be her way out, her golden ticket, her reason to try, except she never really tried. We were poor, dirt poor, government cheese, food stamps, secondhand everything. I don't think I ever ate a meal that wasn't from a can or a microwave until I was a teenager. Our apartment was one step above a slum. Peeling paint, broken heaters, neighbors screaming through paper-thin walls at 2 a.m. The lights got shut off more than once. I remember doing homework by candlelight in second grade, pretending it was a fun little game, so I wouldn't cry. We had roaches. God, the roaches. They'd scatter across the floor when I turned on the kitchen light at night. I still can't kill one without feeling like I'm 8 years old again, barefoot in the dark, gagging as I watched them crawl over our only loaf of bread. School was worse in a different way. I was quiet, not because I didn't want friends. I wanted them more than anything, but because I had nothing to contribute. When the other kids talked about vacations, I stayed silent. When they bragged about their new clothes or game consoles, I smiled and nodded, pretending I wasn't wearing the same jeans for the third day in a row. When they planned sleepovers, I made up excuses because there was no way I could let anyone see where I lived. In middle school, they'd talk about going to the movies or getting Starbucks after school, and I'd make excuses about having plans because I couldn't afford even a small frappuccino. It's not even the big, expensive things that hurt the most, it's the little things. I didn't even know what back-to-school shopping felt like. My clothes were hand-me-downs from charity bins. I didn't own a single pair of name-brand sneakers. I remember one time in 6th grade when a friend complimented my shoes, and I lied, saying they were vintage. Really, they were from Goodwill. It wasn't even about the big, expensive things. It was about the little things that everyone else seemed to take for granted. Family dinners at restaurants, birthday parties at skating rinks, a mom who picked them up from school in a car that wasn't falling apart. At home, things weren't better. My mom didn't hit me. She didn't scream at me, but she wasn't there either. She worked 2 dead-end jobs, and when she wasn't working, she was smoking on the couch, scrolling through her phone, sighing dramatically about how life was unfair. "You're going to do better than me," she'd say, staring at the cracked ceiling like it held the answers. "You're going to make something of yourself. You'll get rich, and then we'll finally be okay." It wasn't encouragement. It was pressure. It felt like she was stacking her failed dreams on my shoulders, expecting me to carry them because she couldn't. By high school, I was angry all the time. I worked part-time at a diner after school, just to buy my own clothes and avoid the humiliation of wearing charity bin hand-me-downs. I kept my grades perfect because failure wasn't an option. Failure meant ending up like her, broke, bitter, waiting for someone else to save me. Every time I walked in the door and saw her sprawled on the couch, ashtray overflowing beside her, I felt my chest tighten. "Why don't you go back to school?" I asked once, my voice shaking. She just laughed bitterly. "Me? It's too late for me. But you're smart, you have time. You'll be better than this. You can fix this mess someday. That was the moment I realized she'd never change. College was my escape. I got a scholarship, took out loans, packed my life into 2 garbage bags and a busted suitcase, and left without looking back. I didn't cry when I left. She did. She clung to me at the door, sobbing into my shoulder, whispering, "Don't forget about your mama when you make it big." I promised I wouldn't, but deep down I wanted to forget. Now I'm 27. I have a good job in tech, a nice apartment, a savings account, groceries in my fridge. By all accounts, I've made it. But every time the phone rings and I see her name, I feel sick. She still calls every week. She still hints about how hard things are, about how a good daughter helps her mother out, about how she gave me life and sacrificed everything for me. She sacrificed nothing. She didn't build a life for herself before dragging me into it. She never tried to give me stability. She sat in her misery and waited for me to pull her out. And now that I've built something for myself, she wants to climb into it. I don't know how to forgive her. Every time I see a mom supporting her daughter, buying her first car, helping her furnish her dorm room, slipping her gas money, I feel this ugly, jealous ache. I never had that. I was the parent in our relationship. I was the one scraping coins together, the one making plans, the one dreaming of a better life. And now that I've built one, she wants to climb into it. I don't know how to stop hating her for it. I feel guilty. Of course I do. She's my mom. She did what she could with what she had. That's what people say, right? But what she had wasn't enough. She failed me, and I can't stop hating her for it. Am I the a-hole for resenting my mother? For wishing she'd tried harder before bringing me into this world? For wishing she'd taken responsibility for her own life before dragging me into it? For wanting to cut her off completely some days because I feel like I'll drown if I keep carrying her? For still being angry at a woman who was probably just doing her best, but whose best wasn't good enough? I feel like a terrible daughter, but I also feel like I never really got to be a daughter at all. I feel like a bad daughter, but I also feel like I never got to be a daughter at all.